Welcome to Retirement Talk, the show that gives you wealth strategies that actually work. So today's topic, 3 things, and there's more than 3, but we're just going to cover 3 right now, that married couples need to know about Social Security and how to maximize Social Security for their retirement income.
Well, the government refers to Social Security as an entitlement program. Probably doesn't feel like an entitlement program since you put money into it your entire working career. In fact, if you worked for a company, you put in 6.2% of every paycheck every time you got paid, and your employer matched that 6.2 with another 6.2%. So you've invested between you and your employer 12.4% annually.
That's a lot.
Of your income into Social Security. So getting this right as an individual and as a couple is really super important, because it's going to be the cornerstone of your income in retirement. And it's not money you're entitled to, it's money you're entitled to because you paid money in. So look at it as an asset, not as an entitlement program, and get it right.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you need to know is that you can file for benefits individually, or one can claim a spousal benefit on the other person's, depending on if it's strategically positive or negative for you. You can actually claim on their benefit if the first spouse doesn't qualify. So again, there's ways to maximize that a lot of people don't know. I've had a lot of clients that I've talked to about this over the years, and this is just something that they're not made aware of. It doesn't say that usually on any of the statements, at least not in plain English that they can understand. And so there's just a lot of things that married couples need to understand. It's almost like, compared to one person, it's not just twice as many options, it's like 10 times as many options.
Yeah. And the second thing, spouses can collect half of the primary breadwinners or the higher income earners benefit at full retirement age. A lot of people don't know that you can actually collect half of their benefit at full retirement. We've run into several situations where folks could have been actually collecting Social Security a year previous or 2 years previous, but they didn't know this one of, again, many rules and how that applies to them. And so what they were doing is they were literally leaving thousands of dollars on the table that they were entitled to. So important to understand those rules.
Yeah, I mean, think about this, folks. There's a lot of money on the line. You put a lot of money in for many years, and whether one spouse worked as much as the other or not, there's a lot of household money contributed to this. And you think about this, if a couple is getting $40,000 of income and they're retired for 20 years, 20 times 40, that's $800,000 that's riding on this. And so there's a lot of money. So you need to know all the different strategies and ins and outs. And again, when it's a couple, there's so many things to factor, like health and life longevity and other income sources and age difference between the two. There's so many different things that you need to understand. And here's another one. If both spouses worked, they are both eligible, and you do need to file individually. That doesn't mean that the one that earned less, if it's done correctly and the main breadwinner takes their Social Security first, that other person that only worked a little bit can actually get a bump up in their money too. So again, sometimes this can mean the difference of several $1,000s per year, every year for this couple.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, that starts to add up when you're talking about retirement and income planning and making sure that when your paychecks stop with your employer, they're going to continue into your retirement years. I'd say Social Security on average probably is about 20 to 30% of retirees' income, what we call the foundation of retirement. And you wouldn't think of taking 20 to 30% of your portfolio and not having a plan for it and not understanding what your options are and how you're going to produce income. It's the last thing you should do with an asset like Social Security as well.
Yeah, it's very important. you need to get all the information. And, as I heard when I was a young man many years ago, that you need to measure twice and only saw once. So in other words, get all the information before you make the decision, because the thing about Social Security, there's no do-overs anymore. So once you pull the trigger and you make a decision, you can't go back and say, oh no, I left a lot of money on the table. So get all the answers. Talk to the professionals, talk to people who are dealing with this every single day, figure it out, and go to your financial advisor and just ask all the questions that possibly come into your mind to get all the information you need. Well, thanks again for watching our show. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to get all the latest episodes that we share with people like you all the time. Thank you again. I'm Pete Benson, John Maxson. We'll see you next time.